This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, 2 professional golf tournaments in Queenstown will receive significant government backing. Larnaca Castle exercises some of the ghosts of the past as it celebrates 5 decades of restoration. And a Christian not-for-profit flies under the radar. And a very good evening with The South Today. I'm Craig Story. The New Zealand Golf Open tournament began yesterday at the Millbrook and Hills golf courses near Arrowtown. And news that 2 golf tournaments will receive $5.5 million in government funding has been very warmly welcomed. Here's Mina Amso.
The sun was shining on New Zealand golf today. Not only were conditions perfect at Arrowtown for the players at the New Zealand Open, the government also announced it will be putting $2.8 million of taxpayer money into the event between now and 2019. Tournament director Michael Gladding welcomed the news.
Well, what it does is it gives us some surety. I mean, you know, the reality is we're trying to build an event that is sustainable, that can operate certainly, if not on the world stage, certainly in a very targeted stage, and in that stage for us is Asia.
As well, the New Zealand Women's Golf Tournament will receive $2.7 million from the government's major event development fund. The New Zealand Taxpayer Union is one group condemning the government move. Taxpayers Union says this funding is corporate welfare for golf. They say for every dollar the government invests, $4.5 return is expected, and that has not happened at the 2012-2013 tournament. And Gladding says even though golf is a rich sport, continued funding by the government is needed.
Our goal, and we haven't reached it yet, is to break even. I mean, this tournament will not break even this year, but the issues are happy to invest in the tournament. It really is about an NZ Inc. investment, and as long as there's a return on that investment, I mean, people need to understand that you don't get government funding unless there's a really strong business case to support that. Business or sporting case, and tourism case. I mean, I haven't even mentioned tourism.
The funding has been defended by Economic Development Minister Simon Bridges, who says it will benefit New Zealand tourism, specifically Australia and Asia. Mina Amso for The South Today.
Fire investigators are concerned about people dumping ashes in Dublin Bay near Wanaka could cause another major blaze in the area. Fire crews have battled 2 scrub fires in the areas in as many weeks, with one on Thursday burning an area of 100 metres by 300 metres. Otago Rural Fire Authority fire investigator Jamie Cowan said today that a pile of ashes from what appeared to be a barbecue were found in the area. The ash piles were not related to either fire, and both are still being investigated. It appeared the ashes were dumped under trees and bushes without them being watered down. Major concerns for fire authorities still exist, Mr. Cowan said. Larnaca Castle is a compendium of secrets, and some are being revealed to the public in a new 50th anniversary exhibition. It's been 50 years since the Barker family purchased the iconic building.
50 years at the castle, the Barker story retells the restoration of the derelict Dunedin landmark by Margaret and the late Barry Barker. I'm Rosella Bone. I'm here at Larnaca Castle, where the current residents moved in around 50 years ago. It's also the setting for a current exhibition celebrating the castle's rich history.
It's the only thing you know, so you take it for pretty much as for granted in some ways. But it's a great place for parties.
Norcombe grew up in the house with his sister Sophie, and the siblings have their share of memories.
And the best memories were just running around outside and very much free rein, which was interesting. It was a big place. Sometimes you didn't see your family for quite a long time.
Larnaca was built by entrepreneur and politician William Larnaca in 1871. A series of bitter legal battles saw the castle sold in 1906. More than 100 years on, it still has its secrets and surprises.
the idea of getting up and celebrating the success with everyone. So the recent party was a good one, and a lot of people who came up and had been part of the journey. Because in some ways you're saying before about the ownership, and you never really feel like you own it, it's just a guardian of it.
After suffering personal and financial setbacks, William Larnock died by suicide in New Zealand's Parliament buildings in 1898. Sadly, his suicide would be followed by that of his own son years later. One of the strangest stories from Larnock Castle comes from a play about his life. At the moment where his suicide was reenacted, a fiery explosion went off. The audience thought it was part of the show, but it wasn't.
It came to when Larnock was going to commit suicide, and it was a windy night, so there was smoke going all through the ballroom, and as Larnock shot himself, this big flash of lightning. And everyone says, oh, great special effects. And it was like, well, it wasn't special effects, it wasn't us. So it was a bit strange. I have seen people, like I was on reception and someone came out and he said he walked into the study and there was a person dressed up as Larnock, and he thought, oh, that's kind of cool, and then turned around and the person was gone.
Because of its dark history, Larnock Castle has long held fascination for paranormal investigators and television shows, including Ghost Hunters. But years later, it would seem Larnock still isn't happy about his story being told.
We haven't actually had much luck with ghost stories, so Deb's, our marketing manager, and I went in to do a ghost story with Radio New Zealand, and sadly it was a really good interview. And then they rang us up and said when it got to Wellington there was nothing in the file, it was just dead silence. It's a pretty bad choice of words. And we said, oh, that must happen all the time. They said, no, it's never happened before, can you come in and do the interview? So we went back in to do the interview about the ghosts, and none of the equipment would work. So after a while it eventually got cranked up and we did it, and it was nowhere near as good as the first interview.
Those who stay at and visit the castle all contribute to the conservation of the historic property, which hosts over 100,000 visitors annually. Roselle Lebone, The South Today.
Good story, Roselle. The first of the autumn AMP shows kicked off in fine style in North Canterbury. The Omuri AMP show held at Rotherham provided a great day of entertainment and competition for Hurunui folk. Frankly, you've been hammered by recent earthquake aftershocks. President Hamish McFarlane was surprised at the number of people, given that this was the first show after the association's centennial celebrations only last year. Temperatures rose as the day went on, with trees at the showground providing relief for spectators and animals. The Brackenfield Hunt put on a show with their hounds, and there was a lolly scramble for the young and the old, and there was a parade led by the McAlpines Pipe Band. It was a very colourful spectacle, well done. A Christian not-for-profit humanitarian organisation has been flying under the radar, travelling through many countries offering aid. They're helping people in emergency situations around the world, but they've managed to go unnoticed.
Pairing up with 1,500 agencies and churches, the Mission Aviation Fellowship has helped people in over 30 countries in Africa, Asia Pacific, the Americas and Europe.
Many times organisations will use us in an emergency capacity. For example, in South Sudan last year, when a lot of organisations had to evacuate their staff from out of South Sudan, they didn't say who evacuated them.
Earlier this week, MAF pilot John Neal flew a Cessna 206 trainer into Omuri Airport to raise awareness for the group's activities.
All of that time has been either training MAF pilots or operating in third world areas and onto unprepared airstrips. So an airstrip as flash as this one here at Oamaru would be a luxury to this aeroplane, because most of them would be barely prepared, some of them might even be just dirt roads.
The group does promote the Christian faith in the places it visits, but doesn't restrict their aid for faith-based reasons. Siobhan Watson, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, a rally in support of Etu Union and Cadbury's workers. Well, it assembles in the Octagon at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And should overseas tourist drivers have to sit a test before driving in New Zealand? Well, you sit around and talk amongst yourselves about it. Two young men from Timaru are doing something about it.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product, and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know, in recent years, the number of New Zealanders dying from melanoma has been as high as the road toll?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
University of Otago. Usually the atmosphere is charged with the energy of student life. But this week is the week before exams.
Hey, Dane. Not now, man. I'm panicking. Come on, mate. I know just what you need. In here? No. Is this it? No. This is the place to ease your stress.
Hey, Tane. Fancy a little cuddle?
Arrow International knows what the essential ingredient is for accomplishing great projects, working with great people. 30 years on and 3,000 projects later, with 10 offices and 400 staff nationwide, a company who values partnerships with their clients and carries a strong reputation for passion, integrity, and the love of a challenge, excelling in the construction industry and helping to create, with our partners, more iconic New Zealand buildings.
They say the grass is always greener, but not if you have Ready Lawn. Call Ready Lawn today and make them green with envy.
Thank you for staying with the South today. It2 Union is urging support for a rally to protest the closure of the Dunedin Cadbury's factory. The union says no decision has been reached about closing the Dunedin Cadbury factory. It is still working through the consultation process with Mondelez. The rally begins in the Octagon at 11 o'clock tomorrow. It is organised by the Save Cadbury Community Action Group. Speakers include factory workers, union representatives, Green Party co-leader Materia Ture, Dunedin South MP Claire Curran and Dunedin Mayor Dave Cull. 2 boys from Timaru have gathered more than 40,000 signatures for a petition to have overseas drivers sitting a test before they can drive. 40,000 signatures. The pair travelled to Parliament and spoke to a select committee and were mostly happy that their visit effected some change.
In the cemetery where their father is buried. It's 3 years since South Canterbury brothers Sean and Cody Roberts launched a petition calling for tourists to sit a test before driving on New Zealand roads.
The petition reached over 42,000 signatures, with many of them telling the grief or near misses of encounters with tourists.
Their father was killed by a tourist driver in November 2012. following which the brothers were motivated to save other families from going through the grief that they know all too well. Their 2 trips to Parliament haven't gained the mandatory test for tourist drivers, but have gained some results.
Although we didn't get the law changed, we did get a lot of other stuff done. We got painted arrows on the road, signs and videos on airplanes.
Sean and Cody know their plea to have all visitors sit a driving test on arrival into New Zealand might not be made law, but they're pleased with what's been achieved so far.
We are happy with what we've done, but we think it is still a work in progress, as there's many more changes that could be done.
Their achievements include more than 160 kilometres of rumble strips and painted arrows on roads in high-risk areas, along with signage and in-flight videos for inbound flights. The brothers say people are still dying as a result of tourists not knowing or observing New Zealand's road rules, and they describe their campaign as a work in progress. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Well done, those young men. International stars of stage and screen, including homegrown returning heroes, came out to shine at Dunedin's Fringe Festival this week. Oscar Kitely joined comedian, stage performer and icon Tahu McKenzie as MC for the launch of the 2017 program at the Town Hall.
I'm just myself, and Tahu's herself too, but she's so wonderful when she's just herself. It's pretty awesome.
The 19 acts of the showcase included Dunedin-raised comedian and comic Jeremy Elwood, who's performed in some of the world's best and worst pubs.
Your one, probably a place, it was a casino in a place called Fort St. John, which is literally just the other side of the Arctic Circle in northern Alberta. It's you are technically in the Arctic, and I did that in the middle of winter, minus 40 degrees, and we drove in and did a show and left the next morning.
How's the crowd? Cold?
Cold, but very appreciative.
Kitely has just wrapped up a film role in Disney's animated hit musical Moana. It's his first time at the festival, while Mackenzie has been part of the Fringe for many, many years, and in 2016 she was recognised with the Special Contribution to Festival Life Award. God bless you and save you, Tahu. After the break on The South Today, biplanes in the air above us. And tomorrow's ODT, and if time allows, the week that was, and oh, what a week it was.
For over 35 years, Roslyn Mowers and Heating have been selling and servicing outdoor power equipment and are well established in home heating, installing wood fires. Call in and meet the friendly team. Roslyn Mowers and Heating, 150 Kaikarai Valley Road.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Ecrotech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 11 7766.
Travelling this weekend? Think slow.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
We're a 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focusing on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. We're filming again from our Mosgiel store. We're having a 3-store wide sizzling summer sale. It's the end of the season. We have sizzling prices in short sleeve shirts, polos, shorts, jeans. We've got specials in trousers. It's a sizzling summer sale.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's a sizzling summer sale.
Get finance and get on the road. Talk to MTF today.
Gillians and Silberhorn bring you Rub of the Green, lawn bowls from around the south. Saturday night at 7, replaying on Sunday at 1 p.m. and Tuesday at 3:30.
And thank you for staying with the South today. A group of veteran aviators in 10 vintage aircraft are flying slowly across Otago and Southland this week. One aircraft is a newly restored 1930s de Havilland Fox Moth biplane. What a beauty. It is accompanied on its safari by 9 tiger moths, 9 of them. The group has been to Amarama, Wanaka and Alexandra and is due to fly from Manapori to Gore today, just before they head up the west coast over the weekend. Apart from some cool windy weather, there have been no problems.
Any mechanicals on the way, apart from some minor little issues, but we carry spares and it's all been good. Yeah.
The planes are some of New Zealand's fleet of tiger moths, numbering 35. I did not know that. Let's quickly now recap tonight's top stories on the South today. The New Zealand Golf Open tournament began yesterday at the Millbrook on Hills Golf Course near Arrowtown. Happy golfers. An exhibition at Larnac Castle is marking 50 years of restoration by the Barker family. And a religious organisation is flying into emergency situations to provide aid worldwide. And with the end of Friday squarely in our sight, let's turn our attentions to tomorrow's ODT.
Big Saturday, always a bumper issue on a Saturday. Plenty of good reading, as you know, Craig. We have details heading off. We have details of a funding boost for the region's schools, so that's potentially some good news out there. So on a slightly more depressing note, we have news of the Pirates Rugby Club, who will not be fielding a Dunedin Premier team in the club competition this season.
Goodness me.
There you go. It's an old historic club with lots of history. So
Goodness me.
perhaps a sign of the times. But anyway,
I used to play for them as a schoolboy.
Really, there you go.
Holy.
Pirates in Invercargill.
Yes.
Different Pirates.
Different Pirates, but still we're all brothers on the ball.
Yeah, must be some connection there. Yeah. We also have a good news story of a young Yorkshire cricket fan who was flown all the way to Dunedin for the test after having seen the ground on TV, and she thought, that's beautiful, I must come here. And she did.
How lovely.
So a nice little story there. A bit of drama in the cricket this afternoon. Play was suspended after a smoke alarm was set off in the grandstand and the crowd was evacuated. They have resumed playing.
Golly.
You'll be pleased to know.
I am.
Intersection in South Dunedin has claimed another victim. The Dunedin City Council say improvements are on the way. In sport, we have more cricket, of course. Kane Williamson's 100. So details of all the action from the cricket today. We're up at the New Zealand Open Golf in Arrowtown. We preview the Highlanders. Lots of good stuff happening there. The weekend mix, always good reading. Of course, we have some particularly good reads at the weekend, including a special feature on geeks.
Outstanding. Good reading. Well done, that man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Okay, everyone, prepare yourself. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silberhorn Sportsville.
And that is High Street. Looking down towards the water, you can see the iconic land down there. The situation, another fine day for the south. Well, Auckland gets 70 millimetres of rain this weekend. A little of that will settle on the south with cool, moist east to southeasters and a drop of rain spreading over the Otago and Southland coasts. Heavy cloud almost everywhere. To the southern outlook, down here in the deep, in Balclutha, moderate easterlies, cloudy and 13, pretty much boilerplate. We can rubber stamp that all throughout Gore and Lumsden as well. Cloudy conditions for most of us. Into the tourist towns, to Alexandra, moderate southeasterlies, late showers and 14, the same for Queenstown, cloud increasing. Te Anau, moderate southeasters and 12, and it looks like 12, and for Wanaka, cloud increasing for you as well. That's pretty much the standard for this weekend. To the north, Wamadu, moderate sou'westers in a geographical curiosity, rain and 14. Omarama, moderate sou'easters, cloud increasing, 14. A little bit of rain in Timaru, not too much to be worried about though. Moderate sou'easters, cloud increasing in Twizel and 14. For the Jewel of Dunedin tonight, cool, cloudy, 9. Saturday, more cloud, generally cool, dry day though. Moderate easterlies, rain threatens late in the evening though. For Sunday, overcast and cold, and that may linger until the rain comes on Monday. Your numbers for the weekend, 9, 13, 8 and 12. Invercargill tonight, fine, crisp, clear, cold, 7. Saturday, high cloud increasing, moderate sou'easters too, and we're looking at 6 and 15. For Sunday, mostly fine again, fresh, gusty, cool sou'easters, making an unwelcome return in the pretty city of Invercargill. Your numbers 6, 15, 8 and 14. Let's have a look back at the week that was across the vast expanse of the South today. It has been my pleasure to bring you the news this week. I'm Craig Story. This is the South Today. Good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.